Happy Father's Day, everybody, and welcome to a special Father's Day episode of Dish Upon a Star. This week, we're celebrating all dads, but especially my favorite Disney dad, Goofy, with a recipe inspired by a Goofy movie. Today, I'm going to show you how to make something that's really unique. It's a great Father's Day dessert. We're going to make a bowl of Hi Dad soup cake. It's really cute. It's really fun and easy. I'm gonna teach you guys all how to do it today. Let's get started. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna use a box cake mix, but I will be teaching you some tips and tricks that I use when I make a box cake mix to make it taste a little more homemade, give it a little more rich flavor. For a bakery fresh box mix, replace the water with a cup of milk and the oil with melted butter. It's gonna add a creamier texture and a little more flavor. So to give our cake that illusion of being a bowl of soup, we need to use a bowl-shaped pan. So I am using this 9-inch hemisphere pan from Fat Daddy-O. Another alternative you could use is like a 2.5 quart Pyrex or glass oven safe bowl that you can use to bake with. I have made this cake before in a Pyrex bowl and it turned out great. Just mix it the same way you would a regular cake pan. Just put some cake spray in there and a little bit of flour. Prepare your pan with some cooking spray and some flour. Fill it up with your batter and bake at about 350 degrees for an hour or until a toothpick comes out clean. Using a butter knife, loosen the cake from the sides of the pan. Then take a wire baking rack, put it on top of the cake pan, and then very carefully flip the cake pan over onto the wire cake rack. This will help the cake come out from the pan nice and clean. So what I want to do so that the cake stays flat on the board is I want to carve off this little crest right here, and then I also want to be carving into the cake so I can add a little basin, and that's where our soup is going to go. So we're going to stick our cake in the fridge for about 30 minutes until it gets a little cold, firmed up, so we can make those carves and cuts really smoothly. So while our cake is in the fridge cooling off, I'm going to teach you how to make my vanilla buttercream that we're going to frost our cake in today. In the bowl of our stand mixer, we're going to cream together 2 sticks of unsalted butter on medium speed for about 2 minutes. While that's going, we're going to sift together our powdered sugar. We want to use about 2 to 3 cups in this recipe. Once the butter's creamed together, you're going to put in a tablespoon of vanilla extract and a teaspoon of salt. Once everything's combined, you're going to put your mixer onto the stir setting and begin to slowly incorporate your powdered sugar until everything is smooth and creamy. Frosting's all done, tastes great, it's the perfect consistency. We're going to set that aside and start getting our decorations together for our cake. So the main decoration that we need for Hi Dad soup is noodles that spell out Hi Dad, right? But we're not going to use noodles on a cake. We're going to use white chocolate to pipe out our Hi Dads. And I've melted some white chocolate in the microwave here. And I'm going to put it in a piping bag and I'm going to pipe out Hi Dad onto some wax paper. And then we're going to stick it in the fridge. Since practice makes perfect, I piped Hi Dad a bunch of times, and then since I wanted some filler on the cake as well, I did a bunch of other letters and phrases. To make the little vegetables, I just pulled out the pepper-colored Sour Patch Kids and sliced them in thirds with a sharp knife. I took our cake out of the fridge and it's pretty cooled down and it looks like it's going to be firm enough for us to handle right now. We're going to be cutting off just a little bit of this crest so it lays flat on our cake board here. Using a serrated knife or a cake leveler, we're just going to cut off a little tiny portion of the rounded bottom of our cake so it lays flat on the cake board. Once you flip your cake over, we're going to level the top of the cake, getting off that excess so it's nice and even. To create the basin of our soup bowl, I'm using a smaller serrated knife and cutting a 1-inch margin all the way around the inside of our cake. Once I get that all carved out, we're going to take a spoon and scoop out all the excess, and you can put it in a bowl or just toss it away. Now that we're ready to frost, we're going to take a second cake board, place it on the top of our cake, and then flip our cake upside down, and we're going to begin icing it this way. This first coat of icing is going to be our crumb coat. It's just going to kind of catch all those loosey-goosey pieces of cake that we don't want on our surface layer of frosting. We're going to do this and then place our cake in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once we take our cake out of the fridge, we're going to be coating it with that second full layer of frosting. We're going to really just cover that crumb coat that we just put on, smoothing that icing out, making it look really nice. A tip you can use for this is I take a large metal spatula and I dip it in a cup of hot water before I smooth my icing out. Just make sure to wipe it off with a paper towel between each stroke. To start working on the top of our cake, we're going to place another cake board on the bottom of our cake and then flip that cake over. Being very, very careful when we remove that top cake board. You might need to wedge something between the board and the cake to get it out smoothly. And here we're going to just use a little bit of frosting to frost over the basin and the lip of our bowl. For the soup frosting filling, we're going to be using some chocolate frosting. We're just going to use it from a can. I just kind of tint it a little bit with some red food coloring, kind of make it look like a more like tomato-y, minestrone type soup, and then we'll be filling our bowl with that. Here you can see I use that chocolate frosting to just fill in that little basin portion of the bowl. Doesn't need to be perfectly smooth, but we do want it to cover the cake nicely. For a little extra decoration, I took a spoon, filled it with a little bit of frosting, and stuck it onto the top of the cake. Here's the fun part, the actual decorating of the cake. I took just a couple of the Sour Patch Kids, put them all over the cake. I made sure to put a "Hi Dad" in the spoon, so that was the spotlight, as well as assemble some letters all around. Okay, so our cake's all assembled and I took it out of the fridge. Let's take a look. Oh, I think it's really cute. We have the "Hi Dad" in the spoon. Put my little plug up here. But you could obviously write "Happy Father's Day," whatever you want with your little letters. Sky's the limit. I'm going to be saving this for work. So hello from my work. I brought the cake in today and we are eating it. So let's take a bite. Guys, this turned out really good. So, like adding in the melted butter and the milk, it really makes for like a richer, more flavorful cake. So definitely follow that when you're making this if you're using a box mix. So good. And that's it for our show this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy Father's Day to all those dads out there. I hope you guys all have a magical day and get to spend the day with your dads.